The story you're about to hear is true, and it ends with the same thought. I shouldn't have been there. During night operations, your brain is trained to notice everything. Every sound, every shadow, every movement. But sometimes, what you see doesn't fit any explanation. This is one of those nights. While I was deployed in Kosovo, my team frequently carried out night missions that required us to move long distances quickly and quietly, remaining completely undetected. We often saw strange things at night, shadows, movement, sounds, but nothing like this. During one reconnaissance mission, we were inserted into a remote area to determine whether mortar rounds and mines were being moved through the region. Our extraction was scheduled before daybreak, and we had to cover just over 17 kilometers. The terrain was manageable, intelligence on the area was solid, and the moon was nearly full, giving us excellent visibility. Unless we ran into someone, it should have been an easy night. Our team usually consisted of 4 men, but this time we brought along 3 newer soldiers for training. To keep things safe, I took rear security with another experienced teammate. ILL column L, positioned just ahead of me. We worked well together and trusted each other completely. After moving roughly 10 kilometers without finding anything, we turned toward our extraction point, which required crossing a large hill and passing near, but not too close to a village. We regrouped, checked personnel, ammo, and gear, and continued moving. As rear security, I was the last to move. Just before stepping off, I heard a noise in the trees about 50 meters away. I remember counting my breaths, forcing myself not to move, telling myself that panic makes noise, and noise gets you killed. I turned and saw that L had noticed it too. The rest of the team kept moving, unaware. It was probably just an animal, but we began advancing cautiously using a 2-man bounding technique. The noise continued. Eventually, I told L to rejoin the team while I stayed back to observe. I took cover and waited. The moon was bright enough to cast shadows of our gear on the ground. The radio stayed silent. No chatter, no static, just footsteps and whatever was moving out there with us. A few moments later, I saw movement in the trees roughly 15 meters ahead of me. Everything went silent. I stayed perfectly still for several minutes, controlling my breathing and scanning my surroundings. Soon, the team moved back and surrounded the area I had indicated. When we advanced together, there was nothing there. No tracks, no footprints, no signs of anything at all. Naturally, the guys gave us a hard time afterward for getting spooked. We moved out again. A couple of kilometers later, we reached an orchard we needed to cross. The moonlight was bright, and the trees were evenly spaced, providing decent cover. The wind rustled through the leaves, and the weight of my rifle felt heavier than usual. The moonlight was bright, and the trees were evenly spaced, providing decent cover. As I was about to enter, I heard the noise again. This time, it sounded like a child giggling. It immediately caught my attention. It wasn't something my imagination would normally invent. L had already moved ahead and stopped to wait for me. I took my position and stayed low near a tree, watching. That's when I noticed something strange. In the nuts of the tree beside me, I saw what looked like a human face. As I focused on it, the face became clear. A young girl. She turned toward me, smiled, waved, giggled softly, and then disappeared back into the tree. I was in complete shock. There was no chance I was reporting this to the team. Convinced I had finally lost my mind, I said nothing, ran forward, caught up to L, and we completed the mission without incident. 2 weeks later, I was assigned to provide security for a team of combat engineers in a different area. Meanwhile, my original team returned to the same location where L and I had been spooked, much to everyone's amusement. I was relieved not to be going back. After finishing my assignment, I returned to my barracks. Not long after, my team came in laughing, except for L, who looked angry and shaken. Someone joked that L refused to patrol that area anymore. A few days later, L and I were together on another assignment. Out of nowhere, he asked me, "What did you see that night?" I brushed it off and said it was probably my imagination. He looked at me and said something that sent chills down my spine. He didn't laugh. He didn't hesitate. He just looked at me and said, "I know you saw her. I saw her too. Tell me I'm not crazy." I told him he wasn't and asked where he saw her. He answered, "Inside a tree." When he said that, my stomach dropped. I had never told El what I saw. He had been nearly 40 meters away and couldn't have seen where I was looking. Yet somehow, we had both seen the same thing. I've been on countless missions since then. I've seen real danger. But nothing has ever unsettled me as much as that night. Because whatever we saw was already there before us.
Some stories don't end when the lights turn on. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.